Hello, you beautiful human being. I'm Victoria, and today we're talking about Mercury retrograde. So maybe you're like me and you keep seeing things and hearing things about Mercury retrograde, and of course, you know a little bit about it. It means that the planet looks like it's going backwards, even though it's not, and that is somehow affecting us. And you've heard all this stuff, you've read about it possibly, but you still want more information. Well, that's why I'm making this video, because I really want to see what more we can learn about it, because I feel like there's more. There's more that we can learn about how Mercury retrograde affects us, and there's more that we can learn about what it's going to do in this particular time that it's here. So I have this deck here. I have a few more that we can pull from later as well, but let's check out how is it actually affecting us? What does Mercury retrograde do to us? So something that's coming through to me now that they're telling me is that one of the things that it does to us, well, it depends on your own personal birth chart. It depends on what sign you have in Mercury and what house Mercury is in. So this will all affect you in a particular way. So those of you who know when you've been born, what time you've been born at, definitely look into your natal chart, check where Mercury is, and try to read more about it. But we have here the Ten of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles. So the Ten of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, it does mean that that Mercury retrograde actually provides us with a great way to create some endings and some also new beginnings. So with the Ten of Swords here, there's definitely this feeling and the sense of being overwhelmed by everything that has been put onto you. So a lot of times when it comes to Mercury retrograde itself, from what people say, it's to do with communication, it's to do with planning, it's to do with traveling. So there could be just a lot of things on your plate, and it can be really hard to handle. There could be too much thoughts, too much anxiety and pressure onto you. To do so many of the things that you want to do. And I also feel like Mercury retrograde comes so that it can show us what we've been working on and spending our time on that we don't really need to. There are things that our attention would be better spent and our energy would be better spent doing. Rather than the ones that we're worrying and thinking about here. I really feel like that is why it comes. It comes to help us realize here with the Four of Cups. Yeah, we're doing all of these things, but is any of it worth it? So it's an introspection time. That is, you've probably heard about that. It's a time to really revisit what you've been doing and all of your projects, but it really helps you realize what you're happy with and what you're not happy with, so that you can start new things and create new things as well. Let's get one other deck here. It really feels like it opens up a door into our minds. It can help us open a door within us that will help us create shifts that are needed in our life. So sometimes you have to go backwards to go forwards, or you're not actually going backwards, you just feel like you're going backwards. And that's the feeling of the retrograde. So you feel like you're going backwards, you're not really, but you have to go back. You have to look at the past. If you don't know the past, you won't be able to know the future. That's actually something that I have written somewhere, that if you want to know the future, you need to learn the past first. And the past and the future are in a constant cycle in the present. It's all a constant cycle, and it's not linear. And we can learn from the past just as much as we can learn from, reading about the future. And that's why Mercury retrograde, I guess, is so important, because it helps us. It helps bring to light things from the past that are not serving us anymore. Things from the past that are feeling like there's too much weight on us right now, and things from the past that we looking to the past to see what we did right and what we did wrong, and what kind of cycles have we been in, and what kind of cycles are we going to go into now, and what kind of cycles do you want to go into as well. Like, you can consciously start choosing what kind of cycles you can go into. Fears coming through, very very, I don't know, potent is coming through. I don't know why the word potent is coming through, but there's a potence there. Fears with the Ten of Swords. Again, a lot of fears will start coming through. You'll start realizing things that you're afraid of, things that you've pushed down deep within, that you've just ignored because you keep taking on new projects, you keep doing new things. But Mercury retrograde is here to show you all of this. It's here to really help you dive deeper and to help you understand, help you remember some of the things that you put away and then you forgot to deal with. So a lot of times we have so many thoughts, we have so many things to deal with, we have so many emotions, and of course we can't function daily with having all of these. So we put them away. We put them away somewhere and we think, oh yeah, it's gone. I don't need to deal with it anymore. But it's not gone. It's still there. And that's what happens during Mercury retrograde. You get to access that part unwillingly a lot of times. And you get to realize what is actually happening. Okay, let's take both of these. I feel like both of them want to come through. We have tipping point and generous spirit. With tipping point, it's the tipping point. It's the point when you have to bow down your head. When, I think this is the kappa from Japanese folklore, and I think when it sees you, it bows its head. So if there's water inside its, if it has like a hat and it bows, the water just tips out. But at some point, you have to be generous enough with what you have to be able to tip and give. There's something here about tipping, but it's not necessarily about tipping in restaurants. There's definitely here something about generosity as well. So this Mercury retrograde, I think this one in particular, the one that's here now, is going to teach us a lot about generosity, help us become more generous. And I think it's because we're starting to realize what happened in the past, what we haven't dealt with. We're starting to deal with the past, so we're starting to become more humble. So we're becoming more humble, and it was this point, that the tipping point where literally it's the Mercury retrograde is the tipping point. It's when, things are kind of, you don't know where they're going. They might go this way or they might go that way, but Mercury retrograde comes and you finally get the clarity that you need. Funny that you're getting clarity during Mercury retrograde, but it actually does end up giving you clarity because you start realizing, actually, I don't want to go this way. I actually want to go that way. So that's the point when you go a particular way, when things go in a particular way for you, because you finally get to make that choice because of the things that happen during Mercury retrograde. And a lot of times I feel like something that's coming through is that a lot of situations, you'll be put into situations where you will realize all of the issues that you have. Again, we're talking about all the things that are deep inside us. So a lot of the time, if there's issues with miscommunication, there's issues with planning, etc., they're coming through just to show you how you're going to react to them. They're not coming through, just randomly, just because Mercury retrograde. No, they're coming through to show you your reaction to it, and so you can see yourself, how much you've grown. So look at yourself during this Mercury retrograde. Look at how you're reacting to things and to the situations that are happening around you, and see how you've grown, or maybe some of you haven't. Try to discern and see for yourself. But again, there is a generosity coming through here. a feeling where you start realizing a lot of things. Again, that realization point, and when you really start opening up more. And the more generous you are during a Mercury retrograde, not just with your money, with your time, with your energy, the more generous you are, the more you will also receive, because it's a cycle. So if you give a lot, you will receive a lot. But also be careful where you're giving. Because during the Mercury retrograde is when you'll realize, what areas have I been generous in that maybe I shouldn't have? And what areas have I not been generous enough that maybe I should? So what have you been giving too much of? Too much energy into one specific thing? Maybe it's time to decide to go another way, to put the energy into something else that could be better. Too much thoughts into one thing? Maybe time to put your thoughts into something else. Too much money into a particular thing, maybe it's time to put your money into something else. And I also would like to get some cards here for advice for us on what to do during this particular Mercury retrograde. Another thing they want me to tell you is that, this came through and reversed. Interesting. The thing that they want me to tell you is that to remember that, again, if you react badly to something, you will start a cycle of negativity. If you react positively to something, you will at least turn the situation to neutral. If someone that you made a plan with had to cancel, because, sometimes it happens during Mercury retrograde. And your first thought is, what? How can this happen? All of my plans are ruined, blah, blah, blah. Then you're continuing a negative cycle. Then you're going to get more and more bad things coming to you because of Mercury retrograde, because it's there to help you realize something. But if you remain calm and you say, oh no, it's okay, don't worry about it, you're making the other person feel good too. So you're being generous with your, energy and with your love in a way. But you're also putting yourself in this positive cycle, into this more positive timeline as well. An Ace of Swords reversed, it really feels like, yes, of course, it's a time for introspection now. And a lot of people say don't start new things during it. But you know what? I feel like it's a great time now to start thinking about new things, to start thinking up new ideas, to start trying to communicate more. But keep it inside. Keep it within yourself. Don't share it outside. It's only for you now. During this Mercury retrograde in particular, and if you're watching this during some other Mercury retrograde after I posted this, then this would apply to you since you're watching this right now. Make sure, if you are making any kind of plans, any kind of getting some kind of ideas, that you're keeping it to yourself, because it's a very personal thing. It's a time for exploration, and you don't need to hear anyone else's opinion on this, because this is a trial and error time. And the more bad things you hear, like, oh, you should fix this, and this is a bad idea, and this is a bad idea, that's just going to demoralize you. It's time to start thinking up ideas by yourself. And then after Mercury retrograde, I feel like you'll start really realizing, okay, what did I like about that idea, and what didn't I like, what works for it, what doesn't work for it, etc. So just stay positive. Ooh. Okay, this Nine of Pentacles decided that I want to fly away. Nine of Pentacles, of course, and it's coming with the generous spirit. So feeling abundant, feeling like you are abundant, and feeling like, yes, you can share. Of course, I was just saying it's probably best not to share your new ideas, but everything else that you have, share. If you have an abundance of already thought up ideas, share them with people. If you have an abundance of money, well, share it. Don't just keep it stuck in your bank account rotting away, where, the banks can just use it for whatever they want. Use whatever you have, give to people that you feel like you want to give to, that you personally feel like deserve your energy or your time or your money or your effort. Feel yourself as being abundant. Try to do what's coming through is that abundance meditations can be very helpful and also very potent. Again, this word potent coming through will be very potent in this Mercury retrograde, because I don't know why. There's just something about abundance right now. Maybe it's something about it being in Virgo. In Virgo? It's not in Virgo. That's just a lie. Oh no, it is in Virgo. It's not a lie. Well, regardless, I think there's something here about finances, something here about your physical realm. So looking at your physical realm and making sure that you're feeling good, making sure that you don't have too much that is just overwhelming you. Again, sometimes we like to surround ourselves with a lot of things, a lot of thoughts, a lot of people, but in the end, it's just overwhelming and we don't need it. So it's time to really, let's say, get rid of the things that you don't need and feel like, yeah, I have everything that I need, all these things. I can give them away to people, make them happy, make them feel abundant too, hopefully. And this card actually really wanted to come through, the Dancing Lights. This card again is a card about fun. Again, because I was just saying, make everyone happy, make yourself happy, make everyone happy. Dancing in light, dancing, have fun. Try to have fun as much as you can during this Mercury retrograde. Try to not take everything too seriously. Try to just enjoy as much as possible. Abundance mindset, generosity, enjoyment, fun, dancing. Just enjoy. Yes, there's going to be hard times. Yes, there's going to be fears coming through. Yes, there's going to be times when you're feeling so overwhelmed and you're being forced into, get to this tipping point and choose and realize things and start new things. But that doesn't mean it has to be stressful. That doesn't mean it can't be fun. That doesn't mean that you can't be feeling abundant, even if you're losing things. It's all about your perception. It's all about what you think about it. Even Mercury retrograde itself, if you feel like, yeah, it's Mercury retrograde, so there's going to be a lot of bad things that happen now. No, if you keep thinking that, yeah, of course, they'll come to you. But if you think of it as something positive, as something good, as something that can help you in your growth, then only good things will come. Or you will perceive them as good things. So yeah, I think I'm going to end it here. Everyone, I hope that you enjoyed this and I hope you learned something today here with me about Mercury retrograde. And I hope, this made you a bit more positive about this current time that we're in, or that you're in, whatever time you're in. But anyway, if you're interested in a personal reading, details of how you can contact me are down below in the description. Leave a like and subscribe and a comment if you haven't. Let me know in the comments how you've been feeling during this Mercury retrograde. Do you even care about Mercury retrograde? Do you even think about it? Or, how do you feel? Anyway, guys, I hope I see you in my next video. Have an amazing day. Bye!